horror actor Tony Todd died, like, 5 days or 6 days ago at this point. But I'm gonna probably do a few minute thingy as I just called somebody important. And, like, I got a few little ideas, and this will also probably concern Final Destination 6, Bloodlines. But I don't know, because of, like, the strike that they did in, like, August or whatever, if they were to be able to finish filming, or if they had started filming Final Destination Bloodlines, which was, like, a prequel, I think, to, like, the original, like, the first one and stuff, which I will be covering, by the way, on Patreon as, like, a little tribute to Tony. I'm currently actually doing the CANDYMAN movie, speaking of him as well. But I don't know if Tony Todd had kids. If he has a son that looks like him, they could do the Morgan Freeman approach. Like, if you guys have seen Shawshank Redemption, I think it is, they use, I don't know if it's a picture or whatever, or, like, flashbacks, but they use one of Morgan Freeman's sons as a younger version of his character, Red. Right? So maybe they could do something like that, especially for maybe Final Destination 6, since obviously, like, it's a prequel. Or, like, one of my great friends named Viv said, and this is, like, what they've done before, I think, with, like, Star Wars, like, before or shortly after whatever Carrie Fisher died, they had unused footage, right? So, like, they could probably do that, like, unused footage from perhaps the first one or whatever that Tony had filmed, or get, like, a stand-in, like, somebody that looks like him, I don't know, to be him. Especially, like, if they did another Candyman. I haven't seen this one, like, the 2021 one, as I'm doing all the Candyman movies in order, like, what I recorded 1 and 2 for Patreon. Those will probably drop sometime soon. And then I'm gonna do, like, Final Destination as soon as Candyman's done. And I also did another one of his called Stream that has a few other guys in it. But yeah, or they could, like, use unused footage. I mean, there's probably some from, like, the original first Candyman, if they wanted to give rights away to, like, his family, if they were to do another Candyman. Because this one, like, the 2021, this one, that's not him in it, but it's supposed to, like, be, like, a Halloween, like, they forget everything that happened in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, H2O, Resurrection, and, like, one takes place after, like, the David Gordon Green first one, the Halloween one, takes place however many years right after the original first one, but, like, him and Michael aren't related, for example. Like, Candyman probably does not have a daughter in the 2021 one, for example, or a granddaughter or whatever. But, yeah. Or they could do the Final Destination 3 approach. I don't know where he is. I kind of want to be like he's, like, the voice of the devil during, like, one of the first, like, before, like, the first vision thingy happens in Final Destination 3. I think he, like, voices, like, the devil when they go to that carnival. They could also do something like that, like, get either his voice, like, if, for those of you guys that don't know, James Earl Jones, like, before, like, maybe, like, when they entered the Disney era or something, for Star Wars, he gave permission for them to, like, use his voice. So it's like, if he signed off before that, maybe they could do something like that, and, like, use, like, his voice, unused footage, like my friend Viv said, like I just said, or get somebody else to, like, be him, even though it probably wouldn't be right, but as long as, like, they get him right. I mean, like I said, I don't know if Tony has kids, he probably does, but, like, if he did, and it was, like, a son, and, like, he looks like him, and, like, the voice was perfect, maybe he could. Maybe they could even do Stream 2, like, if there was a Stream 2. Because, spoilers, I guess if you guys haven't seen the movie Stream, It has a bunch of horror icons. Danielle Harris, speaking of Halloween, who plays Jamie in like 4, 5, and 6, and I think she was in 6, and she even like had like a role of Annie Brackett in the Rob Zombie remakes. But like that, Tim Curry's in stream. I forget his, Jeffrey Combs, who is in Would You Rather, and one of my new crushes, David Howard Thornton, aka Art the Clown in Terrifier. But yeah, and Tim Curry's in it, and like it kind of leads to a potential sequel or something, sort of like how oh my god, Escape Room kind of like lent it to a sequel when they did that movie, and then there's probably gonna be a third one of that. So it's like, who knows? Stream 2, anybody? If you guys participate in my Patreon, I usually have like a free tier, or usually put them to public, so you guys can go watch Candyman right now. I think I'm gonna drop that later, maybe though, as I'm doing like Terrifier. All my stuff is usually free tier, but as soon as like I get more people over there, even like for like the paid versions, then I will probably start dropping edited versions for free, and then like the full one or whatever for not free, or like parts of it for like not free. And yeah, as usually some of like the recordings I do take up space, or Patreon only lets me do like a 20-minute thingy. I can also do live streams on there as well, but I don't know like if it would like let me share the screen, or if it would just like let me do what I normally do, like show my head like in a corner and stuff. But I'm unfortunately waiting for a phone call. The people that I'm waiting on, my doctors, they have like about an hour and 23 minutes at the time of this recording to when I can relax, I guess, like, because it's my doctor, because of my medical problems. But yeah, so that was just gonna be all. We got some Star Wars news. I will probably talk about it in a separate thingy, as I'm gonna like look into it. Speaking of Star Wars as well, I will most likely be doing another Star Wars Celebration live stream, which I usually do. Like, I'll probably sleep downstairs in my parents' place, which I live at. So it's like this. Come April, 8th or whatever? Be prepared, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to do the full stream. And maybe I'll, like, mute it for certain copyright things, just in case, like, if they do Star Wars themes. Or maybe I will mute, like, the whole conversation thingy. Besides interviews. But, like, trailers or whatever, and I will react to them if we get anything Star Wars, right? I mean, oh god. Simon Kinberg, I think it is? Kinberg? Who wrote and directed probably some of the X-Men movies. I know that he did Dark Phoenix. He's doing a Star Wars film, so maybe I will, like, look up potential writers for, or who could, like, maybe Screen Rant or somebody did, like, an article on, like, directors who could do Star Wars, and I will probably go over them, like, why they should, or why they shouldn't do a Star Wars movie. Like, I will probably think of a few cons or whatever for Spielberg, for example. But it's like, yeah. But, like, let me know what you guys think about, like, the Tony Todd situation. Like I said, we had that strike in, I think, September, or as Cobra Kai probably would have been released then. But, yeah. Links to my socials, including my Patreon, will most likely be down in the description, or in one of my other previous videos, or I can, like, link it up somehow to my YouTube channel thingy. And then where you guys can go check out anything. Like I said, I'm gonna upload stream like sometime next week to Patreon, as I'm like doing Friends and stuff like that on Mondays, and usually And like Terrifier comes today, I think. Like part 1 and then part 2 of Terrifier is probably next Wednesday sometime. And then part 3, part 4, 5, I think. And then Terrifier 2 drops, and I still gotta record Terrifier 3. But like I said, yeah. I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm probably gonna delete this as soon as I'm done the screen recorder thingy. Just so I can make room, because like I said, I'm gonna be dropping a bunch of stuff on Patreon. Friends, Season 1, Episode 13, I think it is, drops on Monday. And Terrifier Part 1 drops sometime today, and then I will probably drop Part 2 of the first movie. Sometime later, like, for next Wednesday. And, like, I recently did the Scream movies for Patreon. I think I have Scream 6, like, 3 more parts or something like that to upload in a little update. Like I said, I was going to do Halloween movies. But I decided, why not just do the first one, then the David Gordon Green movies? Since people, like, some people that haven't seen the movies may be confused, because there's, like, multiple timelines. Like, what, 3 of them or whatever? Maybe? Yeah, 3, probably. Especially if you think about the original first ones, like, the Jamie character, and then you have Josh Hartnett's character, I forget what his character's name was in H2O. And then you have the David Gordon Green movies. Maybe I will start recording the David Gordon Green ones in a few minutes or so. One of my favorite TV shows is on at 3 p.m. my time. So it's like I'll probably watch that, and then like 3:30 or something while charging my laptop, I will probably do David Gordon Green's Halloween, or like I will title it Halloween 2018 Part 1 or whatever. And then, yeah, Shannon out right before I get this like too long.